And just like that, we are live. Oh, wow. What a busy day it has been. I've been going, had an extra show early this morning talking about some live stream training with my friend Stephen Healy. And we had our show at noon. And now here we are again. And I like to say every Monday, you know, a lot of people get up on Monday and they kind of drag themselves. Oh, my goodness, it's Monday. I look forward to Monday because especially this part of the day, I know I'm going to be doing my show, and you never know who you're going to meet, and I'm going to have some fantastic people on here, and it's an exciting one here. We're going to talk about our guests coming up in a little bit. We'll have Karen Minty joining us to talk about Ignite Sarnia. Sean Johnson's going to be joining us at the top of the hour to talk about an upcoming movie that he's doing here, and what I'm really excited about as well, Blair, Raven, the Talk Show Maven. You don't want to miss her for sure. There's going to be a lot of energy here today. But first, we got to talk about what happened this past weekend. Well, if you're a Sting fan, you're fully aware that the Sarnia Sting season is underway. We had the preseason, and, well, let's just say I'm glad it was preseason because it doesn't count. It doesn't matter. So we don't even want to talk about that. What does matter is the Sarnia Sting had their home opener this past weekend. They were supposed to start the season going down to take on the Sioux Greyhounds, but due to heavy weather, they had to cancel and postpone that game. It will be played at a later date. But they came back here this past Friday and had their home opener. A fantastic turnout as they took on the Flint Firebirds. And, you know, the Flint Firebirds last year were really a thorn in the Sarnia Sting's thigh, if you will. Being one of the lowest teams that they were, the Flint Firebirds, they really gave the Sarnia Sting a hard time last year every time we played them. And it kind of looked like it was going to be like that this time in the first period. Things were a little moving slow for the Sarnia Sting. But then finally, they came out on top with a final score of 4-1. And notably, Calvin Martin, who's joined the team this year, he's not only got his first goal, he's the first goal for the Sting for this season. So Calvin Martin helping out in there, and the final score again 4-1. That was on the Friday. Then we move on, as some would say, a little bit tougher of a team, and definitely a rivalry. These two, the two rivals battled really, really hard to each other. A very aggressive game as the Sarnia Sting hosted the Sioux Greyhounds, and last year a very powerful team. And it was just a struggle back and forth. There was a lot of stick handling going on, very aggressive. It was interesting, too, because some of the players on the Sting now are formerly from the Sioux Greyhounds. So there was maybe some inner rivalry going on there as well. But it came out final. Captain Ryan McGregor finished it off in overtime, 2-1. Very intense game for many different reasons. And so far, perfect score for the Sarnia Sting. Happy to see that. And we'll be back there on Saturday, October the 6th, as the Sarnia Sting hosts the Kitchener Rangers. So congratulations to the Sarnia Sting for a good start to the season. But it's early, right? You know, my friend Jay Peckham and I, we do our fan perspective of all the Sarnia Sting home games. And we had a fantastic season last year. We were top in Canada, and then the pendulum swung and really took a different turn. So looking forward to an exciting season with the Sarnia Sting. I can't believe that it's October 1st today. Like, I just want to put everything in check there for just a minute. It's October 1st. What summer? I don't know about you, but it seemed like fastest summer ever. And maybe it's because we get older, it goes by quicker. I don't know. But here we are. It's October, and we're talking about October 1st, Friday, coming up this weekend. First Friday. And downtown is always a nice cultural and musical and sociable walk and celebration of downtown Sarnia and everything that's going on here. And as music would have it, Blackmore and Blackmore. There's two of this guy, Mike Blackmore. There's two of them. You might not see two of them when you go see him, but there is two of him. I promise you that. Mike Blackmore, a good friend of mine and a well-known entertainer here in Sarnia, will be performing down at Zaz Pizza on First Friday, October the 5th from 7 to 9. Hoping to get down there and check that out, do the walkabout. And then, of course, it wouldn't be right if I didn't mention my friends down at Cheeky Monkey, Marianne and Roland, always supporting local music. And this time it's Missy and Dwayne. Missy Burgess and Dwayne Close will be performing down there. There's also some painting performance, I guess you will, a painting display Bill Waters has his oil paintings available down there for a display as well. So that's also on 7 to 9. Things get started downtown Sarnia about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So you can start your walk after work, or maybe you're skipping out work early. I don't know. I might skip out work early on Friday. Cheeky Muggy always playing hostess, great music. And once again, Missy and Dwayne will be there to take care of that for you. Now, this one is going to be interesting. This is also happening Friday night. Yeah, nothing to do in Sarnia, right? Lots going on this weekend, but I got to talk about Destiny Wrestling coming into town. And Brian White is involved in this again. I'm not sure how he got dragged in. Councillor Brian White, who is running again for a county council position this time. There's a battle royal of some sort going on here, and I haven't got all the details, but I do know that Brian is involved, and there'll be some other locals involved. You're going to have to keep watching the Facebook page throughout the week here as I get details on this special event coming to the River City on Friday, October the 5th. Tickets only $20 for this event. I will be in attendance, and I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but that's all I can tell you right now. There's some things going on that I'm not happy about, that I've got to talk to Aaron Sisson and find out what's going on there. He's going to keep me informed. We might have some special interviews coming up this week with some of the wrestlers as well. So Destiny Wrestling, you can get your tickets down at Cheeky Monkey. Get them down at Philly Cheese Jake's. You know that Philly Cheese Jake guy that I talk about all the time? He's got the list of Philly Cheese Jake. Shameless plug. Jake, I hope you're watching. You can get tickets down there as well, $20, and I'm looking forward to this event. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, follow details on my Facebook page. You know, the ladies in this town are pretty popular, especially when it comes to business as well. The Ladies Fall Expo features ladies in business here in town, and they've got room for a few more vendors. It's always a large show, busy show, and that's coming up on October the 24th. Ladies Fall Expo will happen out at the Donne Club, and once again supporting Noel's Gift. I believe this is their 13th year putting the event on. I believe it's their third year putting in support for Noel's Gift. And we'll be talking about that more as it gets closer. We've had a special guest on already. We'll have another special guest coming up probably about the week of that event to talk to you more about what's going to happen at the Ladies Fall Expo. Mark it down for October the 24th. Flavors and favors. Flavors and favors. The flavor is wine, I believe, and some food. And the favors are all the magnificent gifts that are going to be auctioned off. Yours truly will be the auctioneer. This is my third year being an auctioneer. I'm not looking to be an auctioneer full time, I can tell you that, but we do have a lot of fun for this event. This year, it's grown, it's gotten larger as I've moved on from the riding club now into the new Quality Inn here in Sarnia. It's a huge event, and all these things that I'm talking about, I'll post all the links after the show. You'll be able to go and find out where to get the tickets, buy the tickets, and find out more about these organizations. This Flavors and Favors, of course, supporting the local cancer society here in Sarnia Lambton. So that is coming up as well. All right, we're going to acknowledge a few people who are out there watching. Raven the Blair, she's already out there saying hello. Hello, Raven. Corinder, my friend Corinder, how's it going, buddy? What's he saying? Let's get rolling. Let me guess you got on to, what episode is this? This is episode number 31 of the live show. So that makes it a total of 361 shows. There you go. Corinder, what else we got here? No, it's not rugby. It's hockey. Sting and Firebird are hockey for sure. Yeah. And you're a wrestling fan as well. All right. Hey, Julie Jenkins is out there. Hello, Julie. Thanks for joining us here. Gee, I can't imagine why you're here. All right, let's see what we got coming up next. I got sidetracked. All right, well, I guess it's time. Let's do that. I'm a little ahead of schedule, but that's okay because my first guest, I should say, coming up, she's got lots to talk about. She's a talk show host herself. We'll talk about that. And we'll also talk about this special event that's coming up called Ignite Sarnia, coming up this Wednesday night. And we'll bring in from the lobby right now. Here comes Karen Minty. Hello, Karen.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Fantastic. Thanks for joining me.
No problem.
What's this is a different angle for you. Because you're normally the one asking the questions, aren't you?
I am, but I really like to talk, so sometimes it might be better to be the other way around.
There you go. Well, before we get talking about the event, tell people who you are. Tell them about your show, and then we'll jump into Ignite Sarnia.
Well, I have a show on your TV. That is the formerly Cogeco TV. It's called Community Conversations. I have taped the 5th season. It's airing right now. It airs on Monday night at 7 p.m. on your TV, and then repeats a few times. So I haven't done 331 shows yet, though.
Well, you're five. You're five. That you said it's your 5th year.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you're getting there. You're getting there. You take the summers off, don't you?
I do. We do all the taping in the spring and summer, and then it airs in the fall, winter.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. And how did you get started in that?
Somebody just said that they were looking for a host, and I was all over that. And I went to meet the producer, and I wouldn't let him leave until he said I could have the job.
Pushy.
Yeah, I was
That's
just
good.
Like, dude, this is me, dude. You have to. And he was like, okay. He didn't. He had just moved to Sarnia. He didn't know anybody, so it was probably timing.
There you go. You fooled him, did you?
Yeah.
And you're doing sort of similar to what we do here. Like you're interviewing people out in the community, and what type of people are you talking to?
I don't really do like current events or community activities. I find people with a good story that have a good backstory, or they're doing something interesting, or they've got a passion to talk about. So like it's not business or anything, just really fantastic stories. And I personally think that the best guests are the people who don't think they have a story when I have to convince them that they have a good story. I couldn't
agree with you more on that one. Hey, we got our own conversation going on out here in Facebook land. We got Corinder saying hi to Jen, and Julie is saying hello to Jenny Lynn.
Oh, Jenny Lynn's actually on tonight.
Oh, on your show tonight?
Yes, her episode's on tonight.
Oh,
a little shout out for Jenny Lynn.
All right, Jenny Lynn, and she's saying hi to Julie. So they're having their conversation, and you got a bit of a fan club out there. That's fantastic. Let's talk about a fan club. Well, no, there's others out there. We know that. They're just maybe not saying hello out there. Let's talk about Ignite Sarnia. It's coming up this Wednesday night. Talk about what that is.
Ignite Sarnia is it's a franchise. It's all over the world. It's in about 100 different countries, 300 in some cities. They're quick speeches. Our logo is Enlighten us, but make it quick. So you have 5 minutes to talk about your passion or your hobby or whatever you want. We limit it to no business pitches, and this year we had to say no political pitches just to make sure.
Good choice, I'm thinking.
Yeah, we didn't want like 38 5-minute politicians. So
no, there's a lot of shows being done on that anyway. So
we have a great lineup of interesting topics. It's Wednesday night. It's one of our sponsors is the Alt Space. That's where it's being held at 136 North Christina Street.
Okay.
Great location. There's going to be a cash bar. I know that always brings people out in droves.
There you go.
There's no admission fee. The event is free. So come out and listen to the speakers. It's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, the last event that you did, and I was there for you to stream that, and I'll be live streaming this again for you. It was some people that I knew and some people that I didn't know. So what I found interesting was, of course, the people I didn't know, I expected to learn something. It was the people that I already knew, but had a different story than how I already knew them, and learned some new things. And I was like, wow. And of course, like you, I reached out to them and said, hey, I need you to be on my show and tell your story. Cause there was some like Carrie was there talking about her pet ducks.
Yep.
You know,
she's in the lineup again. She's not talking about her pet ducks this time though.
Okay. You know, you would think 5 minutes wouldn't be that hard to talk and tell it, but I've and I know you've asked me a couple of times to do. 5 minutes doesn't seem like enough time. It'd actually be quite a challenge, I would think.
Sometimes it's not enough time, and sometimes it's way too much.
Long, yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it's too much, sometimes not enough.
Who are we? Can you give us a list too, just off the top of your head, who you can remember is going to be there?
Well, I'm not going to ruin the whole thing, but
we have.
We've got speeches about women in leadership, overcoming obstacles, about the role fear plays in your life,
right?
Personality profiling, lots of different neat ideas, rescue dogs, different things.
Oh, wow. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's a really wide range of topics.
And are these all people from Sarnia? I know last time some were kind of in, not really living in Sarnia, but were originally from Sarnia.
I think they're all from Sarnia. We have Phil again, who is half from Sarnia and half from Japan.
Right, Phil's awesome.
and he's in Canada. Phil's always good and funny, so he'll be entertaining.
How did this all get started? I mean, there's different groups out there, you know, like Toastmasters and there's Mo Mondays, and you know, this Ignite Sarnia is really unique in its own way because of its 5 minutes. But how did you discover Ignite Sarnia? What made you decide to say, hey, we need to do that here in town?
I first heard about it from London. I saw an ad for speakers for Ignite London, and I put my name in, and they selected me. So I've been speaking at Ignite London for probably 7 or 8 years. And then we got the idea about 4 years ago, why don't we just bring this to Sarnia? So we did that, and then we had a bunch of events, and then we took a break, and we brought it back in May. It was originally started by a bunch of engineers who take too long to say everything. So they said, okay,
okay. More on that.
Nobody wants to be at a meeting for an hour and a half. Everybody's got 5 minutes. So,
well, and you know,
got the slideshow in there too.
Yeah, right. I was going to say they have like PowerPoint slideshows. So each slide's what, 15 seconds? Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. 20 slides. They auto advance every 15 seconds. So it's a challenge to keep up and keep going with your slides. So sometimes I advise people to throw just a generic one in there every once in a while. So if they need to catch up, then no one will know.
Can I just have the same slide change every 15 seconds and just go up and talk?
No, people want that, but you can hack a slide and just make a slight change to it.
Yeah. Okay, change the wording or something. See, that'd be me. I'm the wing it guy, right? So I would. I don't know. I'll have to take you up on the offer sometime for sure. When
I'm actually speaking this time too. I'm emceeing and I'm giving a speech. So.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, tell people about your. Are you going to talk about your 40 hours?
Yeah, actually, I own 40 hours for corporate training, and I do writing as well. I help people tell their story. I recently became certified as a human behavior specialist in DISC, and it's about personality profiling. And it is so much fun, and it is so helpful, and it's just I'm going to show you the fun side of how to figure people out.
Wow, how to figure people out.
How to figure them out in like less than 30 seconds and accommodate for them.
Oh, that's I don't think that would work on my wife.
Oh, I've got tips for you. You better be paying attention during my speech.
Okay, I'll take copious notes for sure. Maybe I'll bring her too, and then we'll compare our notes and see the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah. See what she said? She's got it right. Yeah, wait, I might get in trouble that way. Well, that's good for you for doing that. And I think the Ignite Sarnia that's been brought here is fantastic. You keep saying we. Who are the other we's involved?
The other organizers are Julie Jenkins from Exit.
Right.
She's also a sponsor, and Megan O'Neill. And she'll be giving a speech too.
Oh, Megan is awesome. That's fantastic.
Megan's always got something funny to say.
Yeah, I remember the last one. She's quite a traveler, right? So she talked about that, and I've reached out to her as she can be my trip advisor once in a while. Put it that way.
Yes, yeah, she's always got great deals.
So this is something that. How long's it been in Sarnia now? Then
I think it's been 4 years.
Yeah. So
give or take.
And it's obviously growing because I only heard about the last one that what you did earlier, and so is this something you're looking at doing like twice a year now? Is that sort of the plan?
I think we're aiming for 3.
Okay.
one in the winter, one in the spring, one in the fall. No one comes in summer.
Yeah,
So,
right. Agreed.
Yeah, so about every 3 or 4 months we'll do
Okay.
one.
Because it seems to be growing. I mean, you've moved on from where you had it last time to this space, and this is a larger space, isn't it?
It is. Well, we had it at Mix last time and they've closed. So we looked for another space and we just thought the new alt space is awesome. So we decided we'd have it there. We asked him about it and he was like, oh yeah, absolutely. So hopefully we're going to get a big crowd. We had a full house last time.
Yeah. They were looking for chairs last time.
It was standing room only. We were really, really happy with that. So.
Yeah. And you said, again, this is free admission. There's no charge to come in.
It's free admission, but cash bar.
Cash bar. Well, of course. All right. Well, if you did free bar, you'd pack the place.
We need a few more sponsors.
Yeah. They might not leave either.
Yeah.
You might have to have more guest speakers. So how many guest speakers in total is the plan?
I think we've got 8.
Okay. All right.
I think we've got 8. Yeah. So we'll doors open at 7. You can get a drink. The bar is open. Speakers are starting at 7:30. We'll have 4, and then we'll have a little bit of a break so everybody can get another drink, chat with the speakers, and then we'll do 4 more.
All right. And
so if anybody's interested in doing a speech, we can always add one or 2 more to the lineup. So if anybody's interested, shout out to us like right now.
Oh, okay. All right. And so can they just reach out to you directly on Facebook?
They can reach out to me or the Ignite Sarnia Facebook page.
All right. Fantastic. And oh, wow, I'm really looking forward to that. It's always a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the last one. And you never know who you're going to meet, right? Or like I said, you never know what you're going to learn about somebody you already do know. So
yeah, everybody has 1,000 stories.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're waiting for you to do one, Dave.
I know. Julie keeps asking me. We'll see.
She's persistent.
We'll see how the night goes. Well, I did one once at an Ignite event, but it was really kind of unofficial. I didn't have any slides. You guys at the end just said you get up there, or Julie made me get up there anyway. But if I'm going to do it, I'll do it with slides. Not this time though. I'm not doing this time. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's fantastic that Ignite Sarnia is existing here, and looking forward. I haven't been into the new alt space yet. I've heard so many great things about it though. So I'm looking forward to that experience as well. Yeah,
it's a beautiful space. I think it'll work out well.
Awesome. And so for those of you that can't make it out in person, I'm going to tell you though, do everything you can to get off your couch and go to this, because it's just a nice evening. You're going to learn a lot about some people in your community and hear some great stories. Who doesn't just like a great story? And it won't be boring because it's only 5 minutes apiece.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Right. Gotcha. I gotcha. I could think of a couple engineers that could take the lesson. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, anything else you want to add there, Karen?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
We're all
doors
set.
Open at 7. Cash bar. Speakers at 7:30. Don't be late.
All right. Sounds good. Karen, Minty, thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday night.
All right. See you then, Dave. Thanks.
You're welcome. Karen Minty from Ignite Sarnia. It's happening downtown Sarnia. Well, again, we'll post all the links and the times after the show here. If you don't catch it here right now, don't worry about that. Ignite Sarnia, as she said, the cash bar is going to be there. If you can't make it out in person, but I want you to that's the best way to experience. But I will be live streaming the event and the speakers. So you'll be able to watch and check that out as well. We'll have all the links. I'll have that link coming up later on this week. I'll be sharing that. So get ready. Or tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be sharing that later on this week. It's Wednesday. I better get to work and get something done, right? So yeah, again, Ignite Sarnia. Looking forward to that. Thanks so much to Karen Minty for joining me here on the show. And thanks to Julie Jenkins and Megan Renault, who also are a part of bringing this great event here in Sarnia Lambton. All right. Well, my next guest, have you ever wanted to be in a film? Have you ever thought how cool it would be to have some fun making a film? Well, our next guest is going to join me here in just a moment, and he's making a film here in Sarnia, a comedy horror. I'm not sure how you put comedy and horror together, but Sean Johnson is in the lobby, and he's coming on here right now to talk to us. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hey, thank you for having me.
This is really cool what you're doing. I know a mutual friend of ours reached out and was sort of telling me her story, and I'm like, "What? Right here in Sarnia, somebody's making a movie?" And I know there's been some done, but I hadn't heard about this one. So you are Film Stuff Inc.
Exactly. Yeah. SCHTUFF.
That's just like stuff. Is that how I'm supposed to say it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Sean, how old are you?
I'm 27. Just turned in 22nd there.
Okay. Oh, all right. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
How did you get started with like filming and stuff?
Well, I've always been a big movie fan. Used to go to Blockbuster with my dad all the time and rent movies, and I just kind of got more and more into it. And one day I finally decided I'm not seeing too much that I like, so let's make something I want. And I went out there and I wrote my own film, and I read a couple books. I read a couple books by Lloyd Kaufman. Were very inspirational. One was called Make Your Own Darn Movie, I'll say. And the other one was called Everything I Learned About Filming I Learned from Making a Toxic Avenger. It's just an independent filmmaker, and very inspiring books. Couldn't recommend them enough.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
I just kept going.
Well, it's so this is your passion then, right? Is this something that you want to take on full time and have as a career?
Oh, absolutely, if I can. But it's definitely a roll of the dice with this kind of stuff, right? Yeah,
a lot of work, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, lots of work getting everybody together, and then everybody's been really nice enough to volunteer their time too. So, it's been we've got a great group of people working with us, and it is a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of like local people then, like you said, they've all come on. They want to be a part of this, and they're
everybody
supporting.
From Sarnia, the local areas. We have a couple people from Corunna, a person from Alvinston. Somers the furthest out, but pretty close to Sarnia though. Everybody.
Right. So comedy horror.
Yeah.
How do you mix those two together?
Well, it's kind of like the Three Stooges, but with more blood.
Okay. The Three Zombies.
Yeah, you can say that for sure. Yeah. Or the Three Inner Earth People in our case.
Right. Is that what's the name of what's the name of the movie?
The movie is called The Inner Earth People: A Love Story.
Inner Earth People: A Love Story. So there's some romance in there too, is there between the?
Yeah. There's a big lead romantic couple, and they have to face the inner Earth all by themselves pretty well.
That's fantastic. I want to see it already. I really can't.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. What's the process though? I mean, you don't just get up and buy a camera and say, okay, you stand over there and we're going to do this. Like, what's the very beginning stages of making a movie?
Well, I actually started doing small YouTube videos. I do comic reviews and stuff. And from there I learned how to edit. And at that point I watched a lot of movies, and I really looked deep into the movies to see like what I like, what I don't like. And from there I just kind of make a list and then follow it out from there. Writing, it's kind of something you have to have. It's kind of hard to learn. Like, you can learn writing, but not everybody can do it, as most people say. But I just had an idea in my head, and I thought, just go through with it. If you have a dream, you might as well give it a shot. But once you learn editing and stuff, it's good to get a start somewhere and then base up from there.
Yeah, I think that'd be the hardest thing for me is taking it from the brain and putting it down on paper, or typing it down or writing it down, wherever you got to do. Do you have? Are you the only writer, or do you have a team, or how do you piece that up?
Just me, actually. I started. I wasn't sure if it was going to be as big as it is. I started just with the script with no. I wanted to make it, but I didn't have. I didn't know how big it was going to be when I started it. I just had the idea of that I wanted to have like a couple attacked, and then they have to fight their way out. And I said, I can tell you the plot line in a second, but just kind of starting there, and just one step at a time, I guess.
Right. And then the production side of things. I always wondered, and I think I know the answer, but you don't record the film from first scene to last scene. You kind of mix it all up and then you put it back in order, right?
Yeah, a lot more big Hollywood productions do that because they have more money to spend on different little things, right? But for the local independent filmer, it's a lot easier to do, one step at a time, just in case someone loses a shoe, they won't have it, 4 scenes down the line. For instance, someone forgot their glasses on one of the sets, so we had to write in that they broke their glasses. So
right.
You have to go with what you get without being an independent filmmaker.
Well, and I guess you'd have to keep an eye on detail, right? Like, you couldn't shoot it this way and then go back and shoot it and have a different shirt on.
Exactly. And then you're limited to where you can shoot. You might not be able to shoot there again. You it's best to do it all in order if you can. But there's going to be certain stuff you don't want to save to the end if it's like a big special effect or something along that lines.
Right. What about the city of Sarnia? I mean, you're going out to some public locations to do your shots. Sorry. Do you have to get special permission to be in certain areas? Do you have to get permission from are there's people in the background of the shot, or what about all that legal stuff?
Well, luckily we've had enough actors that we're going to try to get them in the shots, and they're all okay with it. But for locations, we've had people be very kind and give us. Well, for instance, we filmed in one of our actors' basement not too long ago, and one of our sponsors, Your Highness, the head shop downtown, they're sponsoring us, and we're going to shoot one of the scenes in there. And nice. Mackenzie Mill was actually nice enough to let us use Mackenzie, the building Mackenzie Mill, and we'll be doing a lot of the scenes in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you don't have to. So you haven't had to go to the city then and say, "Hey, is it okay if we use this facility or anything like that?" Or you don't have to. You're not blocking off any roads or anything.
No, not yet. We're not doing too many. We're not exploding any buildings or anything. So.
Well, let's talk about that too. I mean, digital is one thing with a camera now. You save a lot of money on film, but special effects is that the largest expense of it all?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, we're doing a lot of practical effects, so a lot of real blood being thrown around, real fake limbs. We don't. CG gets a lot more
real fake.
Yeah, exactly. A real fake. So that does get expensive, but we're also doing a lot of homemade stuff. For instance, we're doing homemade blood. We have for dummy, I'm going to be filling some clothing with some paper and then put some some fake organs in there I bought at Spirit Halloween and that kind of stuff. But it's all just it's like craft work at that point. It's doing crafts.
Yeah. So again, is that all? Are you a one-man show, or do you have a team that's helping out with this? I mean, besides the actors playing their roles, are you? How much of a team do you have?
Oh, we have a bit of a team. We have Sandra Gray. She's the production manager. She's really great. Helps me a lot with the online stuff and keeping everything going on during the production. And Sean Scott, he's another fella. He's been great. He's done a bunch of other small independent films.
I know Sean. Sean's awesome.
Yeah, he's helped me out a lot with that. So. Yeah, we get a nice little crew of people, and everybody helps here and there. And Sean Boyven, too, from those guys' productions. He's really been a big help, too, getting a lot of our actors and cast and stuff like that. So nice little group, not too big, not too small,
Yeah, fantastic. Well, let's talk about the actors now. How many people would be involved as characters?
I think we have about there's about 6 or 7 main characters and a few different background ones, and I do have a low budget. We have a lot of actors playing the same character twice with a wig on it, that kind of stuff, which works as a bit of a joke too, But yeah,
sure.
we got about I'd say maybe about 11, depending how many people are on production set,
Oh, okay, all right. So now we say we're talking comedy and horror in there, but there's different types of comedy.
Yeah.
Is this slapstick to is this making fun of horror?
It's definitely slapstick. I'd say it's more of a throw up the horror. Like, I love horror. I wouldn't make fun of it exactly, but there's definitely some tropes there. It's more of making fun of serious movies, maybe a little bit. Not quite. It's hard to describe, but it's not exactly making fun of anything.
It's maybe like parody to it, maybe then, like making fun of, but with respect to it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely like that.
Yeah. Okay. Because I mean, when I was younger, which was a long time ago, teenager days, you go to the horror film and you took your girlfriend to the horror film because hopefully she got scared and you had to hold her hand, right, and comfort her.
Yeah.
But they were, some of them, I look back now, I think they were the dumbest thing. Like, if a man was coming at me and he was wearing a mask and had a really big knife, and I know he'd already killed some people, I wouldn't stay in that house.
No. Yeah, you'd bust a window,
I wouldn't go to any of my neighbors. I wouldn't go to a house on the same street.
No,
I'd be gone in the next county. Gone.
Oh yeah.
So is that sort of the fun you would make of? I mean, because there's those horror movies. You go, God, that's dumb. Why would you do that? Get out of there. But then there are those serious Well, Stephen King would be a good example of a serious, wow, that
thriller kind of a stuff.
That could almost happen kind of thing, right? Or at least it kind of makes sense.
This is more of almost like a cartoon version of it. So they're almost self-aware of it. That like they almost know that they're in a horror movie in a way,
Right.
Yeah, they're using the rules against them a little bit, you could say.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, how did you find your actors? Did you put like open auditions out there, or were these just friends and people that you already knew?
Actually, it was just open auditions. I first had open auditions at the New St. Pat's, the French school there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We held open auditions there, and from there, the people that we connected with there let us know about their friends and their friends and their friends, and a lot of word of mouth from there. But we also did Kijiji, and all the other different types of job searching places on the internet. Just put it on the internet, and we got some replies.
Yeah. Oh, here we are. I had my scroll button in the wrong spot. I was wondering why nothing was moving. Where are we here? I see Sandra Gray is out there saying hello.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know Sandra?
Yeah.
Okay. And who else we got out there? Chuck Worth.
Yeah, he's an executive producer.
Oh, fantastic. Well, he's complimenting you. He's a very creative guy. He has written songs for his band and done awesome paintings and drawings. So you have you have a musical band as well?
Yeah. It's the Sean Johnson Band, actually. I didn't name it, by the way. And yeah, we played a couple gigs here and there.
Oh, fantastic. And Raven's out there. She's agreeing. She said, I always laugh at that too. Get the heck out like now. I'll try to stay around. Yeah.
Sorry about the dog, by the way.
Well, Corinder is asking, and Corinder, he already kind of answered it earlier. He wanted to know how you started making film, but that was something as a young boy that you just got interested. What? Yeah, exactly. What you said earlier about you like making films because you gotta go ahead. Sure.
He's been being a jerk all day. Sorry about that.
That's okay. If maybe he's jealous and wants to be on camera. Bring him up on camera. That's no problem.
All right, give me a second. Come on, Ron.
And Sean Bolvin is out there. Says awesome stuff, Sean. There we go. Yeah, that's one thing I love about live. Just whatever happens, just bring them on. It's okay. We'll interview the dogs and the animals too.
He was in my first short film, actually.
Oh yeah, who's this?
This is Rocky.
Rocky. Hey, Rocky.
Oh yeah.
He's happy now. You were getting all the attention. He needed some attention there.
Hey, get a little antsy.
Sean Bolvin's out there too, saying hello. Hey, Sean, thanks for joining. Thanks for everybody who's watching right now. For those of you who are just joining us currently right now, we're talking with Sean Johnson from Film Stuff Inc. I love the name. Making a comedy horror here in Sarnia. Are you still looking for more actors or actresses? What is it now? Is it actors and actresses, or is it just actors?
I think it depends on the person, but a lot of big actresses say they worked for that name, and it depends on the person, I'd say. But yeah, we're definitely still looking for actors, actresses, whatever you want to be.
So if I wanted to be in your film, you could take David Burrows into your film. What crazy part would you'd probably want to kill me off or something?
Yeah, we could kill you off. We have a part out we're kind of looking for right now. The first part, you help rip somebody apart. So you'd be ripping off an arm and then beating the person with it. And then later on, you get killed with a drill to the stomach.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to talk about that. There might be a spot in there for me. I think it would be fun. I've never. I was in a film a long time ago and it never got put out, so I never did end up seeing myself. Okay, I'll talk to you. Maybe that'll be fun if we can fit it into the schedule. Sounds like a good time.
Oh, it sure is.
So Corinder's out there. He's one of my fans from a different part of the world. He's a great follower of the shows. He wants to know how he can get a hold of you. What is the best way for people to reach out to you if they want to find out more?
Right now, it's just Film Stuff Inc. on Facebook, but we're also working on Twitter and Instagram too. Okay,
all right. Well, we got the link up there on the screen, so you can reach out. Or can they just find you, Sean Johnson, on Facebook too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm right there too.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. So what's the timeline for this to be completed and then coming to a theater near you?
I'm hoping to have it premiering in Sarnia probably around April, springtime.
Okay, and then where will this show?
I'm hoping to get it in the Imperial. I haven't talked to him yet, but I'm hoping to get it in there. And if not, I'm going to try to do it at the Sarnia Library Theater. And from there, I'm going to go to as many places as will have me. I'm going to put it in a bunch of film festivals, for instance, Shockstock in London, and a few in Toronto. I'm going to try some Windsor stuff, and I want to get as much people to see it as possible. Sure.
So, both those theaters are fantastic spots to show films, and great locations, very convenient here in downtown Sarnia.
Oh yeah.
And would this be? And hey, the Swift Film Festival likely will be back here in Sarnia. I don't know if that's a hookup.
I'll definitely be talking to them if I can.
Yeah. Beyond this movie, like, do you have a vision? Do you have obviously you have the vision. This is what you want to do for a career, but when this movie's out and done, what's next? Do you have that plan in place already, or are you just sort of waiting for the chips to fall?
Actually, a few of the actors already approached me about making another movie.
Right.
So, two individual ones actually want to make a movie themselves, so I'm definitely helping out with that. And also, my friend Sean Scott, he's doing a comedy sketch show, kind of like a comedy horror sketch show, kind of SCTV based.
Oh, nice.
On that too.
Okay. Well, I've always wanted to play the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
So if you come up with a bad guy role where I can,
no problem.
or the villain. Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be good. I'll get you in there.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the tell everybody the name of the I can't talk. Tell everybody the name of the film again.
It's Inner Earth Attacks, a love story.
Yeah, Inner Earth Attacks. I love the title. That alone just makes me want to go and see it. So, Sean, I invite you to stay in touch with me. Or whoever else is on your team, if they're looking after you, have them get in touch with me and keep me posted on what's happening, so I can put little updates out on the show for you. And then when you're getting close to the release date, if there's a pre-screening, let me know, and we'll make sure that everybody knows about the event when you have it here in Sarnia, and we'll attend it. And we'll do red. I'll come out and do red carpet for you too. How about that?
Hey, that'd be really awesome of you, honestly.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. Hey, and is there anything else you want to add before I kick you away?
Just come check us out on Facebook, Film Stuff Inc.
Yeah, fantastic. Sean, thanks so much for your time. Rocky, I hope you're doing okay, buddy.
Oh, yeah, he's doing good. Thank you.
All right, enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks, Sean.
You too. Bye.
All right, so you never know who's going to show up here. We have pets on here too, and that's good. Sean Johnson, a great story there. I love it when people are talking about their passion and turning their dreams into a reality. It's and the film business, I can't imagine that being a really easy business that's like I want to be a rock star. Yeah, okay. So Sean's doing it there, having some fun, and as he said, coming out in the spring, hopefully, of 2019. I'm sure we'll be in touch with Sean. And Inner Earth love story. Yeah, that just sounds like a lot of fun. So we'll keep you posted on that. Sean, thanks again for joining. Rocky, thanks for being on here too, buddy. Again, folks, if you're watching the show, don't forget that we'll be posting all the links and the information to everything we're talking about here after the show. I'll be giving, pardon me, I've been fighting. I think I'm getting a cold. That's not good. So we'll be posting all those links after the show as well. Okay, well, I tell you, put your seatbelts on, because we're going for a ride now, because this next guest has got a lot of energy, and I've never really talked to her online until about now. We've sort of chatted a little bit. She is just so much fun, and you're going to love her. And if you don't love her, something is wrong with you. And we're going to bring her on right now. This is Raven Blair Glover, better known as Raven the Maven. Wow.
You almost got it. Raven the Talk Show Maven.
The Talk Show Maven. Yeah. I got excited. See, I lost track of things.
I know. Hey, David. I can't believe I'm on your show. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. I mean, it's funny because I've several times thought, I got to get her on here, and then the next thing you know, you're reaching out to me because you saw a link, and now
I reached out to you.
Yeah, that's
You took too
fantastic.
long.
Yeah, I know.
I teach my clients the irresistible ask. So ain't no shame in my game. I'm like, okay, he ain't coming. I'm going to him.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
So thank you.
yeah, no, thank you. You're welcome too. That's well, let's talk about that. I mean, you and I in this world of talk show hosts. Well, let's kind of give people the background story on you as well. Like, how did you get started doing the interview thing, and where did that come from for you?
Oh my God. My story is kind of heartbreaking in a way when I go back and remember what really got me here. My mother was in the hospital. She went in the intensive care, and she ended up being there for 3 weeks. We thought it was going to be 10 days. So I was on a conference call of Alex Mendosian, and I had bought his course, Teleseminar Secrets. And I was wondering, what am I going to do? What if mom doesn't make it? That was one thought. And then if she does make it and she's different and she needs help, I'm not in a position to help her. At that time, I was 55 years old, making $10 an hour. I'm 67 now. Wow. So, that was when my journey began in my midlife. So I'm up here representing the baby boomer women. Hey. And so from that point, I was in the chapel, just kind of, praying and wondering if mom was going to get this thing. And then, I got the sense that everything was going to be okay. But I needed to change my life because at 55, making $10 an hour, I couldn't even help myself. Right. Versus helping her. And by the way, I only worked 20 hours a week. So it doesn't take a mathematician to figure out I was very close. That doesn't add up. So anyway, I heard Alex on a conference call say this, that the quickest way to become an expert is not to go out there and try to study and go the long route at it. Go out there and interview other experts. Yep. And in return, you would become an expert because you would be hooking your wagon to them and the success they had already built. And I had been in sales for 25 years up to that point. So I had a gift of gab. I definitely had a gift of listening. And so I said, I can do that. And like most people at my age back then, I loved Oprah. I watched Oprah. I wished I could do what Oprah did. And this gave me a chance to be the Oprah in my niche, which is exactly what I teach people now, how to be the Oprah or Larry King in their niche by leveraging the power of their voice, their heartfelt message, and mastering the skills of interviewing the business icons, the celebrities, and the authorities out there. And that's how they're able to build their business faster rather than slower. So that's how my journey began. And I mastered it. I got really good. I actually created my show from the hospital because I lived at the hospital for 3 weeks in the private ICU ward they gave my mom because I wanted to make sure no mistakes was made. She was there for 6 months. So I lived there those 3 weeks. And then after that, I was there 3.5 days. And my sister and I switched off. So during that time, what I did is when I heard Alex say that, I began to craft out me doing a show. I didn't know what podcasting was. I never interviewed anyone. But as a kid, I had that dream at 13 to be a radio host. In fact, I used to sneak down to the neighborhood radio station. But, that dream, as I got bigger, life happenings kind of took that dream away. So I always tell people the dream found my dream found me in the ICU unit and said, hey, remember you wanted to be a radio host. Now you can do it. And there's no FCC license. You can create it your own way and do things your own way. So that's right. How everything began to me. Months later, my first show, Women Power, launched, and then I had Careers from the Kitchen Table. They both got many awards, and now I have a radio station, Amazing Women of Power. And actually, it's a radio station. We're just getting ready to release a podcast network and a TV network. So it's Amazing Women and Men of Power Global Radio Network, and so that's how everything began.
Oh, fantastic! Well, that's quite a story to a beginning. To where you are now. Yeah. I'm not sure why, but you're not in sync, and I can hear myself coming back.
You can hear yourself. I got my headset on, so let me just and I have Facebook up, but I got the volume. See if that's better. Check. Can you hear me? Okay.
1 2 1 2. Yeah, I can hear you, but that's better. I don't hear me, but Oh no, I can still hear myself. But your lips,
Okay.
your lips are out of sync, Raven.
Crazy, guys.
Okay, it's okay. We can roll with it.
Okay.
We'll roll with it.
You want me to come out? You want me to come back out and go back in, or go back
maybe
in,
do
come back
do
out?
a quick refresh. Yeah, I know what you mean. Do a quick refresh and
Okay.
then if that helps.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh real.
Well, there you can see the energy already. Raven, the talk show Maven. What a start to where she is now, and there's more of a story coming here. We're just going to try to get things back in sync here. Here she comes. We'll try that right now. And you're back.
How am I now? Am I still out of sync?
You're still a little out of sync, but that's okay. As long as we can hear your lovely voice.
It may be the internet connection here. Yeah, I'm in the valley, so
yeah, that's fine. Hey, you know this
Sorry,
live
guys.
stuff. We just keep going. That's live.
You never know what's going to happen. There you go.
You've really brought this to a point of and thanks for sharing that start of your story. You've interviewed some great names that actually some that I have often thought of. Lindsay Wagner, who was the Bionic Woman.
Yeah.
You one that I'm really jealous of, and I'm going to try to reach out is Louis Gossett Jr. What was that like talking to him?
Oh yeah. Oh, that was amazing. I did that for my radio host. They were able to be part of the interview and talk to him afterwards. This was maybe about 3 years ago, and it was great. I mean, he had just released a book, and he was starting to do some interviews himself. I don't know where he's at now, but he was hoping to bring people to his home and do interviews. Then I started seeing him in a couple TV series, so I don't know if he got distracted. I often actually thought about reaching back out to see getting a more future interview, but it was great. I mean, every time. I mean, Lindsay Wagner, I've interviewed her probably 4 or 5 times. We really connected, and I've interviewed Russell Simmons. I've interviewed Chili from TLC. I've interviewed Sinbad. So many different people. Sherry Shepherd on the red carpet. And so, when you think about where my story began to what I'm doing now is pretty phenomenal. And I don't know. I think, I sent you my bio, so you do know. But the icing on the cake is to be able to receive, and I have in my studio now, an award from President Barack Obama, a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. And all I've done is interview. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thank you, Jenny Lynn. Love it. Comment. Yeah.
Yeah, Jenny Lynn's she's here to me, so she's appreciating your energy.
Oh, thank you, Jenny Lynn. I appreciate your comment, girl. But yeah, so I love being able to share my story to inspire others, that it doesn't matter where you were or where you are now. I mean, just think, I was 55 years old. Wow. And the best part of my life has happened since I did that, since I just listened to Alex's words. I crafted my show. I didn't get in my head. I just, did what my heart led me to. And I interviewed my way up. I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I ain't where I used to be.
There you go. I'll agree with you on that one. Well, now why, you think sometimes, I know when I reach out for interviews, sometimes, and you don't always get a yes. Sometimes it's a no. It's bad timing, or
sometimes it's a no.
If the show's already sold out, they're like, I don't need to do it.
You took 2 or 3 weeks to get back to me. What's up with that?
Well, I was busy. I know, right? That's terrible.
I've been busy.
I'm being scolded by Raven live here on the show this week.
No, David, this is good because you're right. Everybody thinks, okay, but you're Raven or you're David, right? Yeah. And so one of the things I really pride myself on is being the authentic person and practicing what I preach. Okay, so I teach people how to do this stuff, and I teach them the good, the bad, and the ugly. The people that are in my mastermind, they've seen me, You know, they've seen lights go out. They've seen me lose Mark Victor Hansen on a show on Blab. They've seen everything crash on me. And so I share this stuff with them. You know, I let them know, hey, this is what happened, because I want them to get the realness of it. You're right. You're not going to get yes all the time. I've gotten no so many freaking times, but you get good at pushing through the no's to get to your yeses. And you don't focus on the no's. You focus on the yeses. And when you do get it, baby, you rock that thing. You rock that thing. Yeah.
Hey, well, we've always said, you know, if you're not getting enough yeses, go find some more no's first. Right. You know, and then
absolutely. What's the difference from the millionaires and the huge icons like Jack and Les Brown and stuff? They get more no's and they don't stop. We get a few no's and all of a sudden we feel like our dream, you know, why not do it?
Yeah.
I keep going.
I asked 3 people and they all said no. Yeah. I asked 3 people and they all said no, so I better quit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about something that I know people ask me all the time, and I'm sure you get the question. Okay, so here we are. We're doing a live interview. That's great. How do you make money at this interview thing, this podcast, this vodcast?
Oh my God!
You know, and I have my answers, but I'm curious to hear from you how that works.
Well, one thing you do is you don't think of yourself as a broadcaster or talk show host or a interviewer or a live streamer. You think of yourself as a broadcastpreneur, a talk show hostpreneur, a live streampreneur. Okay, that's one thing. That preneur has to be in the mindset. Otherwise, you will create a fabulous, fun-loving hobby and not a business. So if this is where I start with my clients, David, if I can get them to start thinking like they have a business instead of a hobby, that's the first step. It's not going to happen without that. The second thing is you have to create yourself a roadmap for making your money, a blueprint for making your money. You can't just say, I'm going to make money. Okay, how are we going to make money? So some of the ways that I teach my clients and that I've been able to do is, number one, I take the shows that I have and I will create books from them, audio products from them, different things like that. In fact, I'm going to be giving you and your guests a link to get my latest book that went bestseller that is called Conversations from the Behind the Mic. And so we're going to send you guys a link for you to go ahead and schedule for that. This is a cover of it. Let's see. This is the one of my husband who I married a few years, about 4 years ago. He interviewed Herbie Hancock, and it's in this book. My interview with Montel Williams is in this book. And this is the first ever book that has ever been put out there that's all talk show hosts. It's by a talk show host, and it features nothing but talk show hosts on the cover, and they feature their best guests. So I come up with real creative ideas like that. And I say, I'm going to do this. I go out and I charge a fee for that. We almost made $50,000 on that entire project. And we haven't even come out with the book yet. This was the Kindle book that, that we put out first. The paperback will be coming out in a couple weeks, and then I'm creating a show around the same thing, Conversations Behind the Mic. And then another thing that we do is you want to do courses around your main theme and topic. So we show the host how to do that and how to take their shows from books. And those are just a couple things. Another thing I do that a lot of hosts don't do is I charge for interviews on my show. Now, I don't charge as much as I used to because I have so many ways. At first, that was the only way pretty much I got paid. But now I kind of, I will charge people for and give them what I call a interview package. And that comes with a number of things. And they have like 3 or 4 choices they can choose from. And, so it's just thinking out the box. And it's going for the money, honey. Treat it like a business. What would you do with your regular business? How would you make money with your consulting business? How would you make money with your clothing business? Yeah. Number one, you got to market. You got to put it out there. And you got to ASK for the money. Just like I ASK for this interview, Same
I'm
thing.
glad that you brought all that up because, as you know, we're doing the Be Live in the 5 days training. And we talked this morning. I got the kickoff, and I was one of the guests on there, and that's almost identical. I said, treat it like a business, you'll have successes. Treat it like a hobby, you'll make hobby money. And all those things that you said in there, we talked about a lot of that this morning as well. And
yeah,
I think, I think people just sometimes think, even in this world, well, anybody can get on Be Live and everybody can plug in a microphone and away you go. But it really has to come down to that roadmap. What do you want this to look like? How much time are you willing to put into it? And what are you looking to get out of it? I think those are the first three questions that people should ask themselves. But, and the number one thing, have fun, right, Raven?
Yeah, you got to have fun with it. People got to feel that you're passionate and that you love what you do, and be yourself. Don't try to be a Raven or a David or anyone else, or Oprah, or, whoever it is. Be yourself, because as you know, people nowadays, they're buying into your authenticity.
That's right.
So don't try to paint a perfect picture if that's not the way it is. And 9 chances out of 10, it's not, because we're humans. We don't do perfect stuff. But you want to figure out what your secret sauce is. I mean, there's so many talk show hosts out here. There's so many coaches. There's so many authors, but we all are unique. And so find out what your unique ability is and work that thing. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, we're a little bit over time, but it's okay because nobody's telling me what to do. So I want to keep going. Right? And it's another reason why I'm glad you're the last guest.
I love that.
There's always an advantage of being the last guest. You can keep going. Just one more thing.
Going.
We'll talk about here. This is great for, we say if you're an extroverted person. What if you're a shy person? Can you learn this?
Oh my God, absolutely. Most people do not believe this, except for my friends and my husband, the people that really know me. But I'm an introvert. I know you're like, no way.
Come
I'm
on.
an introvert that's a forced extrovert. Yes. When you see me behind this mic, I'm usually at a table sitting by myself. I'd rather not be, especially on camera. That took me a lot, because I was okay behind the mic. Nobody seen me, but now that we're being pushed to do video and stuff, that was so uncomfortable with me. Blab and Periscope was my first thing on there. Now my husband says he created a monster because he can't get me off. But when I'm talking about what I love, I'm okay. I can be an extrovert because I'm coming from the true me. Remember, I told you guys that at 13 years old, I used to sneak to the neighborhood radio station. I remember one time, my mother them owned a chain of restaurants. And I remember one time, one of her what are people to eat? One of her guests or people that was in the restaurant told her, say, "Hey, I think that's your daughter on the air." And I was like, "Hey, I'm Raven Blair, and I'm on the air, WJMO radio." At 13 years old. So see, the dream was there. The dream was there. But then what happened is I went through a lot of emotional abuse. My parents were very strict. I love them. They're both gone now, and I miss them dearly. But they were very strict. That was during the days when it was okay to whip people. And kids and African Americans used to get really whipped bad. And a lot of it is because, and this is how I forgave my parents, is people are a product of their product, So their moms and you know what I'm saying, go back to those days where, they were beat a lot. So, and people were disciplined that way. Well, that kind of messed me up. It messed a lot of us up, and it made me want to be quiet. It took that's why you guys see me so cray now, because it's almost like I'm the 13-year-old girl now.
It's been building up for years, and it's time to release and let it go.
There you go. Let it go and let it flow. So at the age of 67, I'm 13. That's kind of crazy, isn't it, now that I said it?
Well, I think it's fantastic. And I think you're fantastic. And I think next time I interview you, I just gonna have to give you a whole hour to yourself, so we can just keep going.
Oh my God! Why don't we just do a David and Raven segment? How about that?
I think I'd be up for that.
Just chat it up. we just chat it up because I want to have you on my conversations behind the mic. I want to give your people a link. Is that okay? Yeah. So they can get the free gift.
Absolutely,
okay.
Give them a free gift.
Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Facebook. And you guys, this is a green screen.
If it's easier for you, if you just put it in if it's easier for you, you can just put it in our chat that we have here, and I can copy and paste it. Or whatever.
Okay, so how do I do? Oh, okay, I can put in the chat to you and I. So I'm putting it in here now.
Yeah.
And if you can get that out, you guys can get this free gift now. I'm doing a lot of interviews within the next week or so. So grab it now because I don't know when we're going to take it off. Do you see it, David? It's in the team chat box because that's the only one I see. Where you and I would be chatting if I had issues. You got it? Okay, good. So that's conversations. You might want to put a note by it so they'll know what it is. That's Conversations Behind the Mic. I do have some exclusive news I'd love to share with you and your listeners before we go. Can I?
Absolutely. Carry on.
Okay, good. So I'm excited. One of the things I like to do is be one of few or the only one. So I don't know. I haven't done any statistics on this, but I know we're one of few at least. So I decided because, and I want you guys to think about this as talk show hosts, and as you listen to this live or replay, type in one of your biggest challenges on there. Most of the people, we did a survey, other than making money. And a lot of people felt like, well, they just wasn't getting a lot from their shows. They felt like they were always promoting their gas and going all the way from there, but they weren't getting noticed the way they want. They were being noticed as a talk show host, David, but they weren't being noticed as the expert that they are. They weren't getting more speaking engagements and stuff. Well, most people are not doing a talk show host like we are, where it's their full-time job. Most people are starting podcasts and YouTube stuff because it's a way of marketing their business. So what I decided to do was start a publicity company that's for talk show hosts by a talk show host. Is that cool or what? Absolutely. We're going to be specializing in helping talk show podcasters, live streamers, YouTubers, radio hosts, we're going to take them out of the shadow to the limelight, and give them the red carpet VIP experience virtually that they deserve, and make them a sought after influencer authority. And by presenting them like the stars they truly are, we're going to get them recognized and published nationally on leading authority websites like major affiliate news outlets, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and this is nationally, over a couple hundred of them. We're going to help them turn their shows into books. There's a secret sauce formula I have for that that's going to make it profitable, show you how to get sponsors for it. And then we're going to also put you on magazines and get you written up online and put you on magazine covers. So I'm going to be doing this I want to say we're going to have a special segment that's going to focus exclusively for the broadcasters, new media broadcasters like us. We'll be taking on other professionals too, but I designed this from what I've experienced. I've been lucky enough to interview enough top people that my name has gotten out there, and I can tell you this award from President Barack Obama certainly has not hurt for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was a struggle getting attention and getting recognized, and so we want to help other broadcasters, just like all of you that are watching this, whether you're watching live or replay. So be sure to hit me up, ping me on Facebook, and say that you want a free from Out of the Shadows into the Spotlight session with me, and we'll look at where you are now with being in the media compared to where you deserve to be, and we'll talk about it. So that's it.
Well, I'm in. Sign me up. Can never learn enough, right?
Yeah. Well, let's make sure we talk about it. Yes, because this is really true. I mean, I think it's going to really. One of the things I've been wanting to do is get the talk show hosts and broadcasters the respect that we deserve. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People look at us. Dave, when you go places, are you leaving out like me with tons of books? Everybody wants to be on your show, but nobody wants to pay for your show. Why? Because they look at us as a talk show host and not the experts that we are. Hey, if I'm talking to anybody and you get me say, amen, Raven. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, I've been there, you know. And so now we're going to give you the red carpet VIP treatment that you deserve. Come on over. It's fun. Let me tell you, you'll feel so good. And we're going to make sure your guests get it too. So we have it on both sides, but my main focus is for people like us, David.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Fantastic. And lots of people out here I know are responding as well. So that's great. Raven, we definitely, you and I got to talk. And I see us doing some other, maybe we got to create a show that we do together regularly. I don't know.
You know what? I'm all for that. I'm looking to partner up with someone. So let's talk about that, because we'll run the audio. If we do it, I run the audio on my radio station and my podcast. So we'll get the video exposure here, and we'll make sure the audio gets there. And we're in iTunes and iHeart and all that stuff. So yeah, let's rock it. I'm ready.
Right on. All right. Well, we're out of time right now.
All right,
Raven,
everyone.
Thank you so much, Raven, the Talk Show Maven. I made a new friend today. That's awesome. Raven, stay in the lobby.
Absolutely,
I'll talk to you.
All right.
I'll talk to you in a minute. Wow, I told you there'd be a lot of energy on this show today, and energy comes from you, the viewers, as well. So I thank you so much for stopping by. And of course, that was Raven, and featured on CBS News, Fox, NBC, ABC. President Barack Obama has given her an award. Like, wow! And we had her right here for all of you. So thanks to the laws of the universe for connecting us with Raven. That's all the time I've got for you right now. I wish I had more. We're just going to have to do it again next week. I'm here every Monday, 3:30 in the afternoon, with some local guests and some international guests. Later on tonight, I'm also on Twitch doing the gaming thing. 8 o'clock Eastern, you'll be able to find me on my Twitch channel. I'll be posting that link there as well. So thanks to all of my guests for coming out here. Just to recap, Karen Minty, who's a part of Ignite Sarnia, which is happening this Wednesday night here in downtown Sarnia. And I'll be live streaming and broadcasting that for them as well. So looking forward to that. And Sean Johnson, fantastic young fellow who's following his dreams of filmmaking, Film Stuff Incorporated. And he might be dragging me into this movie that's coming out in spring of 2019. And then, of course, Raven, the Talk Show Maven. Thanks for joining, everybody. Make sure you check out the Facebook page. I will, a little bit later on tonight, I'll be putting the links to everything we talked about, how you can reach out to all of our guests, and you can learn more about all of them. And you know what? Thank you for being an audience. And if you enjoyed the show, in the comments below, type the number 10. Give us a 10 out there, 2 high fives. If you didn't like the show, do nothing. And if you're watching the replay, type the word replay down there as well. That's all the time I got for you this week, everybody. Have a great week and an even better weekend. And I will see you on the show live next time. Bye for now.